Hi everyone, my name is Piterpakulski. Today we'll continue building financial model of a mobile application from scratch. Today we will be creating the cash flow statement where all the inflows and outflows will be placed. So let's start doing it. So first of all, we are creating the timeline for the cash flow statement. So this is the main statement, the main table, where you will be able to see how much money you need to start the business, how cash balance behaves during the timeline. So this is one of the most important statements. You will need to make a decision whether to start the business right now or to rethink your business strategy. So revenues, we will start with revenues. So most of all, it is a completely automatic statement, so we are not putting the data here manually. So before this, we created calculations of revenues, expenses, different types of revenues, different types of expenses, and we will be just placing all these data inside this statement. So this is the revenue, it is marked with green. So the revenue is grouped by different types of users of our application. So we are mapping revenues from this table. So it's a completely automatic form. We are not placing manually numbers inside cash flow statement. So when we will be creating new scenarios, we will be just playing with blue inputs and go back to this statement and see the cash generated for that moment inside the timeline. So these are the revenues. Then we are moving to direct expenses. So the next block is direct costs. So direct costs, and once again, what we are doing, we're going to the top and just traveling from top. So this is the investment stage expenses. We are not taking them at this time, we will be just waiting. Then vendors investment stage, these are the investment stage expenses. Operating stage payroll is a payroll. And then operating activity stage payroll. Vendors expenses operating stage, so these are fixed expenses. Then sales story. Then we are moving forward. User types, we're not taking these. Are calculating the just list. Then we calculate the direct expenses per users. We are taking this group of expenses to the cash flow statement. So we are collecting greens and reds lines to the cash flow statement. So this is our priority task for this video. So it's very important to mark expenses with red, the final expenses with red, and final revenues with revenues with green and expenses with red, to put them inside the cash flow statement. So this is the first group of direct expense, but these are not the only expenses. We also have some other expenses. So direct expenses per user. So these are revenues. Then we place direct expenses per user. Then we have marketing and advertising expenses. We are placing them here. So they are also direct expenses. So we just go very attentively from top of financial model to its bottom, gathering all the necessary data. So marketing, we need to add totals to adjust the totals formula. Then we extrapolate this formula to the right. Then we go back. We can also hide this data, view, data, outline, group. Then we are moving to fixed expenses. So now we are going back to the top, and investment stage is an investment stage. Then vendors investment stage, vendor investment stage, operating activity stage, this payroll, and here we have operating activity stage, vendor expense, operating stage. These are fixed costs for the operating stage. Then we are making totals of that. Then we extrapolate this story to the whole of our timeline. Let's group direct costs. Then we are moving to the payroll. So press equals. Then we go up, searching for operating stage payroll. So these are investment stage expenses. For the budget. Activity stage payroll dynamics. Operating activity stage payroll. So we need this table for operating activity stage payroll. Now we are extrapolating this formula to the bottom. And then we are extrapolating this story also to the right. So basically it is the first moment when you are getting acquainted with your business idea, because you are gathering all the inflows, outflows, revenues, expenses, investment stage, costs. So you are creating the complete picture of your business idea. You are putting all the numbers together for the first time. So then we are planning to group fixed costs, data, then group, so then we are moving to taxes. So for taxes we will be creating some additional table here. So taxes, this will be tax, then rate, so this will be a new block of inputs. We will add one line here, additional. So we will have revenue, tax, payroll, tax, then profit tax, and asset tax. Here we will place the rates. This will be the inputs, so we are coloring them with blue. So let's say that revenue tax will be, so this and this will be in percentage format. So for example, revenue tax will be 2%, payroll will be 5%, profit will be 7%, and we will pay $12,000 monthly for asset tax. So these will be our inputs. Then we are moving back to taxes. Let's hide payroll expenses, data, group, so here on the left we are placing the names of taxes. Then we are adjusting the formula we don't need all these lines for totaling, we just need 4 of them. So revenue tax will be, we are taking revenues, multiply on the revenue tax rate, we are locking this value. Then payroll, we take payroll multiplied on tax rate, we are locking or freezing, say the way you want, freezing the rate. Profit tax we will do a little bit later because we will need interest payments for the loan added. Asset tax, we are taking this value, locking this value, and then multiply it whether we do or do not have an operating activity at this moment. So we are multiplying on this line. So 0 means that we don't have operating activity at this moment, and 1 means that we have an operating activity at this moment. Then we are extrapolating these formulas to the right. Then we are creating the line called the result from operating activity. So to calculate this, we are taking revenues minus direct expenses minus fixed costs minus payroll minus taxes. Let's also group these values. So view, not data, group. I won't group this because I will forget about profit tax, guys. So we are extrapolating this formula to the right. And now let's move to investment stage. Total investment. Total investment. So which color is that? Is it the second one? And now we go back to the model, gathering all the investment stage expenses. So what are they? So first of all, we have investment stage payroll. So this is the first story that we need. Then we will also need, so this is the investment stage payroll, then vendors investment stage budget. So these are vendors expenses during the investment stage. So we need also these numbers. I guess all the other expenses are from operating activity. Now we are extrapolating this data to the right. Creating total for that. extrapolating these formulas to the right. So this is quite an amazing process, because at the end of this process you see that you can calculate profitability, revenues, profits. You can see what cash is generated project by this or that moment of the timeline. So this is very interesting. So you just start knowing so many things about your business idea. Then we just create the line called result from investment activity. This is the second important line of the cash flow statement. So I will take minus and take this value because it is outflow. Then we moving to the financing activity, equity. So maybe this will be the only line for inputs inside the cash flow statement. So this will be the money from your pocket or your investor pocket to finance this business. Then we are adding here. So by the way, let's first of all hide this group. So the first we need to add inflow of the loan when we get it. Then we add the line for principal payments when we pay, and for interest payments. So all these two lines are connected to the loan. Then we extrapolate these formulas to the right, and then we create the third yellow line called result from financing activity. Here the formula will be for this will be this value plus this minus this minus this. Then I'm going to extrapolate this formula to the right. Then we are ready to calculate the profit tax. So the formula for profit tax will be if the base for profit will be positive, then we will pay the tax. If not, we won't pay the tax. So the formula will be if revenue minus direct costs minus fixed costs minus payroll minus revenue tax minus payroll tax minus asset tax minus principal payments minus interest payments. If that's positive, then so if this value is positive, then we pay this tax. So this is our tax base, and we multiply it on the tax rate, and we are freezing this cell with rate. Otherwise we pay nothing, so it's 0. Then we extrapolate this formula to the right. So at this moment we can see that we have operating losses, so we will be adjusting the data, so that's why the payment for the tax is 0. Then we can hide this story. Then we are adding the line called cash balance at the beginning of period. Cash balance at the beginning of the period, so here is 0 for the first month. Then cash balance at the end of period will be result from operating activity plus the result from investment activity plus the result from financing activity plus beginning balance. And then this story moves to the right, start being cash balance at the beginning of the period for the next month, and then we will just extrapolate this formula to the right. So we are adding these values plus beginning balance. Here it is. So this will be the last line of the cash flow statement. So this will be the end of cash flow statement, and we will just have to extrapolate these formulas to the right. So now we can see the values of cash balance at this or that moment of the period inside the timeline, and during the next video we will be answering the questions about the financing, how much money we need to start the business. Well, we will be also adjusting the data to get positive values of profits. So if you find this video valuable, you may give us a like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. You can also order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. So see you guys in next videos. Thank you and bye.